body on the line. I will end homelessness by making sure that we have a comprehensive plan to not only manage, but to finally get every last person off the street. And I've had people spit in my face telling me, we're not going to put them here. And I said, they're already here. It's whether we house our brothers and sisters or whether we keep them on the streets. I'll bring that moral leadership, that proven experience, and that record of standing up, fighting, and delivering. And my apologies for everybody that I'm leaving a little bit early. I'm going to give you my personal email, which is ericgarcetti@gmail. If you didn't get your question answered or wake up in the middle of the night and want to shoot that to me, please do. And I really want to thank SCLC for your understanding with the previous engagement that I had, and for all of you for being here. I'd be honored to earn your vote. I'd be honored to be your next mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Garcetti.
The candidates who did not advance were much sought after by the Garcetti and Gruhl camps for their endorsements. The three remaining candidates made the following endorsements. Jan Perry, who had appeared on Newswire L.A. before the primary, elected to endorse Eric Garcetti for mayor. Emmanuel Pleitez, another Newswire L.A. guest, also chose to endorse Eric Garcetti. Finally, and one of the most sought-after endorsements would come from candidate Kevin James. Kevin James, in many ways, shook up a race that was otherwise a yawner among most Angelenos. His strong and solid third-place finish made him a force to be reckoned with. In the end, and after much soul-searching, Kevin James opted to endorse Eric Garcetti for mayor. Here's the results of the other important races on the 521 ballot. If you're a regular Newswire L.A. viewer, you'll remember last year's look we took inside of the Crenshaw Subway Coalition. They were pushing for several alterations to the planned Crenshaw line, which included adding a station at Lamert Park. Standing in the way of that station was MTA board member and Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa. Let's hear what Damian Goodman said to our Jamie Wright in April 2012.
One of the things I want to touch upon is the engaging the community, the politicians, and sort of politics as usual. One of the things that I think is very important is to discuss the fact that the mayor does have 4 votes on the NTA board, and he opposed, the amendment put forth by County Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas, and he kind of came into office on a black-brown coalition. And I kind of want to know what your thoughts are now that this is an issue and this sort of is the last sort of black frontier in terms of business. I mean, what are your thoughts on the fact that he came in on a black-brown coalition, but it seems that this is one of the sticking points that the community seems to keep saying, you're not fulfilling your promises, and here's yet another example.
Well, 2 points. I guess the first is betrayal is the ultimate sin. And the African-American community has stood by the mayor in his most unfortunate of times. And it was extremely disappointing, and I think a lot of people took it personally when he was the only elected representative of South Los Angeles not to be for the amendment that would have taken care of both the station and the tunnel issue, would have added them both to the project. There was the money there. But the reality is black, brown, the greatest color that exists is green. And there are interest groups that are far more powerful than, I guess you would say, most African American representatives in the African American business community, to which I think the mayor has greater deference to. And so I would say I'm disappointed, but I'm optimistic, call me foolish, that we're going to get the people's motion passed and that he'll be, and his 4 representatives will be voting for it. And my thing is, yeah, there are 13 board members, but I want to get the people who are elected to represent me on board first before I start looking at the other ones. And if you're the only one, and he was the only one, I mean, you had a level of political unity not seen in generations. People who were political adversaries came together to protect the last African American business corridor and to bring a station at the center of African American culture in Southern California. And he wasn't with us. And I think the president should know that as he's considering him. And I think we're going to make the delegates of the DNC, as the mayor is the convention chair, we're going to make them know that too. This issue's been loud within South LA, but we're about to make it a lot louder.
Well, thank you for your optimism and your louder than speech, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
In an unexpected twist, Villaraigosa, who is exiting the mayor's office, voted in favor of adding the Leimert Park station to the build list on the Crenshaw line. This is a significant victory for the Crenshaw community. The day after the announcement, a celebration was held in the park and was attended by Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas, who credited Damian Goodman and the Crenshaw Subway Coalition as being a huge part of why the station was added to the list. The battle continues for the underground section between roughly 48th and 60th Streets. But according to Damian, they'll get back to that soon. They're just going to enjoy this victory for now. It's been an interesting election season. In July, Eric Garcetti will kick off a new era at City Hall, and only time will tell if he has the intention to make any significant change. Remember, voting is a privilege people have fought for and died for. Let's endeavor to have more than 20% of the registered voters participate in this all-important process. I'm Chin Thomas Sanksy reminding you that to follow Newswire L.A., look us up on Facebook and Twitter at Newswire L.A. Good night, and we're leaving you with images from our Mount Gilead Church Candidates Forum. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here next time. Stay tuned for more news on this Westlake Signal station.